Let's talk about The Flash Season 3. I'm going to be open right out the gate with how I felt about the finale. I'm not going to spoil anything yet. I'm just going to be open with you right out the gate. I was a little bit disappointed with the finale. I think statistically speaking, this was probably the worst season. I think actually the worst season of The Flash, but it wasn't, the whole season wasn't bad as a whole. But this finale for sure was, I think, just kind of just slapped together. I think someone just thought like 3 different storylines would be good for a season finale. I didn't like the finale too much. That being said, let's talk about it. So, season 3. By the way, if you haven't seen my original video, I guess I'll post a link to this video in the description. I'm horrible at remembering to do these things, but I did a review for episodes 1 through 9, so we're not going to be talking about the first half of the season before the break. This was the fall of last year, of 2016. I'm going to be talking about episodes 10 through 23, okay? So the mid-season finale, we left off with Savitar's plan to kill Iris, okay? Pretty much the entirety of the second half of the season is trying to change events from the future enough so that every time they go back into the time vault, the byline by that 2024, the missing vanished crisis article thing, the byline is by Iris West Allen, because it's not, and that means that Iris does die. So they're trying all these different things to change the thing that Barry and I guess at a certain point Cisco saw in the future when they saw Iris get killed by Savitar. They try a multitude of different things, nothing's working. That obviously leads up to the finale because that would be way too easy if they changed it in the middle of the second half of the season. Let's talk about some characters because I don't want to go too in depth with all this stuff. First of all, Caitlin is turning into Killer Frost, okay? I can't say that I don't like it, but I also can't say that I like it too much because it's kind of on and off. They keep like teasing us, and it kind of kept getting redundant. You know what I mean? It's just either be Killer Frost or don't be Killer Frost. They needed to have a buildup of one thing instead of it being just up and down, up and down. They needed to have it be she's more and more and more turning into Killer Frost, or she almost did turn into Killer Frost, but then she's like working her way down or something. You know, just on and off, kind of got redundant and old after a while. Cisco finally went full vibe. Wally went full Kid Flash. Gypsy's a new character in this season. She's the love interest of Cisco because they have basically the same power. Oh, hello. Yeah, so she's a love interest, and she's really cool. She's really good looking, too. She's pleasant to look at. I liked her. She was a good character this season. And speaking of kind of new characters, is it Felling? I don't remember if it's Tom Felling. I think it's Tom Felling. Wow, I was way off. It's Tom Felton. I'm so sorry, Tom. I like you a lot. You're a good actor. I enjoyed him in the second half of the season definitely a lot more than the first half. The first half was just, it was kind of like, the show kind of played it so that it was intentionally a forced conflict because it needed conflict for something. You know, they couldn't just have everything figured out right away with Flashpoint. So definitely I liked it. They turned it around with his character in the second half of the season. I really liked him. And then one thing I wish stood around was Accelerated Man, the guy with the purple lightning. I don't know who the actor is. I never bothered to look it up, but there's just something about it. There's just something about the way that he sounds. The one line that he had in the entire series so far, and I was like, I'm interested in him. He seems like a cool character. He's got a very simple suit. I don't know what the purple lightning represents in speed. I want more of him. They have to bring him in. If they're ever going to do like a speedster family, they have to bring Accelerated Man. That one line was enough to fucking sell me that his character is just cool and edgy and just awesome.
Tractor down on Earth, too. Breach is taken care of.
Thank you.
Another negative thing that I have with this season is that there's a lot of filler. And I think The Flash, of all the TV shows, I think The Flash is most notorious for having filler episodes. Namely because if you go back and watch, if you can just remember it, The Flash has a lot more Freak of the Week episodes than Arrow ever did, and it's only 3 seasons compared to Arrow's 5 seasons. Flash has a lot of one-time enemy episodes that like keep recurring, and then they'll keep recurring through different seasons. And there's a lot of filler episodes, in my opinion. Especially, oh my god, you'll know exactly what episode I'm talking about. Fucking season 3, episode 17. CW. If you do something like that again on The Flash, especially with Arrow, I swear to Christ, I will stop watching. Don't ever do that again. I know your cast members know how to sing. Incorporate that casually. Don't waste. You wasted an entire episode with singing, and it was like I was so confused with the fucking plot. I was like, what the hell's going on? Where did Supergirl come from? Where does this I don't even remember the singer Meister, whatever the fuck his name was. Where did he come from? I don't know. That was such a waste of an episode. I was cringing the whole time. And I remember watching that and then watching Arrow the next day, and I was like, episode 17 of Arrow was so much fucking better. Oh my god. It was light years better than this garbage shit. Sorry, I don't mean to trash The Flash. I did not like the whole season. I just thought this episode was shit. I hated that one episode a lot. The other new thing is that Barry and Iris get married about fucking time, and then that's kind of negated. Barris. That's gonna be their couple name, Barris. Spread that shit. Spread it. Barry's and Iris' marriage keep getting like undermined by the fact that Iris is constantly on the verge, on the threat of dying because they can't figure out how to change the future. So I like that they're getting married. I do. I don't usually ship, but I ship them as a couple. I like them, and they're meant to be together. I like that a lot. That was really all I wanted to talk about. That's pretty much the whole season. Savitar, or the second half of the season, Savitar wanted to kill Iris. Barry and Iris get married, and they're constantly trying to change the future. And then there's a lot of filler. That's kind of just, when I sum it up, that's what it's like. Okay, so with that being said, I won't talk about the finale quite yet. I want to give my rating. It was definitely the weakest season of The Flash. I enjoyed it, but the fact that not the other 2 points that I mentioned with Savitar killing Iris and changing the future, that wasn't the bad part for me. The bad part for me was that there was a lot of filler. And so with that being said, I think I'm going to give it a generous 7.5 out of 10. I don't want to say that I didn't like the season, but you'll also understand some of my points when I talk about the finale, where I think that I could have gone lower with the score. I think definitely the finale was the weakest finale on a CW show, period. Nothing against The Flash. I'm not going to stop watching it. I'm still intrigued by some of the things from the finale, but yeah, definitely that was the weakest one. So okay, let's talk spoilers. So some of the things that aren't exactly from the finale episode 23. Savitar is the Future Flash. If you don't know, Future Flash from the comic books it's a new one. It's a new comic book. It's kind of recent. It's Barry from the future, and he's turned bad, and he's trying to kill the present Flash. You know, like on the show, Savitar is the Future Flash, and he's trying to kill our Barry. Same thing there, but it's also, he's got Savitar's name, so it's kind of a combination character of the Future Flash, mostly because of the futuristic blue lighting kind of suit, but with Savitar's name. He's the Future Flash. Savitar is fucking fast, man. He's fast. But the thing that I didn't buy is that in the later episodes, you'll see that Barry is like somehow managing to keep up with Savitar. And I'm like, dude, Barry was in slow motion when Savitar was running full speed. That's how fucking fast Savitar is. But then all of a sudden, the show wants me to believe that Barry like managed to catch up to his speed in a matter of a few months. Like, I'm pretty sure there was theories going around that Savitar was so fucking fast that he needed a suit that can handle his speed. But I'm thinking that the suit is what gives him his speed, because when Savitar outside of the suit runs around, he's got Barry's normal lightning, so that means he can't be that much faster than our Barry. But Savitar's, when he goes into the suit, it's blue lightning, or it's white lightning, I should say. So yeah, I shouldn't really buy that our Barry is as fast as Savitar now. I really shouldn't, but you kind of have to. Okay, let's talk about the finale. There's nothing really I could talk about there outside of the finale. So the whole moment, episode 22, is when the moment of the finale, or the moment of the season that everybody's been looking forward to, or has been expecting. I don't know if you've been looking forward to it or not, but it's the moment that Iris dies, episode 22. Okay, so episode 23, Iris's death was undermined, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. There was theories on the internet that totally everybody saw that coming from a mile away, where it was HR. The Earth 19 version of Harrison Wells was the one who did the face swapping thing and swapped his life for Iris's life, because Iris was imprisoned by Savitar, and so they swapped faces after he went on a daring rescue mission. So HR died. That whole episode, after he kills HR, they tried to turn Savitar good. And I'm not sure if that was part of Savitar's plan or not, but I don't know that it was. I think Savitar was actually genuinely trying to turn good, and then he was like, you know what, this is bullshit. What kind of life am I going to live now? There's no hope for me. You know, it's kind of like the Joker and the Killing Joke. There's no hope for me. I'm way too far gone. There's nothing you can do for me. So in the finale, in an ironic twist, Savitar goes bad again, and the whole team, and this time Jay Garrick is back out of the Speed Force prison. I forgot to mention that, but he was. Wally West, Flash, Gypsy, and Vibe versus Savitar and Killer Frost. So long story short, Killer Frost turns on Savitar because Vibe and Gypsy managed to convince her. So she's half Caitlyn, half Killer Frost. So she's got her mentality back, but she's still got her powers left. So, okay, that's just her emotions playing with her powers. And like I said, ironic twist. Iris kills Savitar instead of Savitar killing Iris. So that was pretty satisfying, I suppose. Here's the thing that I wanted to talk about with the letdown. That whole Savitar turning good thing and then killing HR in the beginning, and then after Savitar's dead, I wasn't confused by what happened in the end, but it just felt like pasted together. I don't know, maybe it was like choppy pacing or something, but there was a Speed Force storm. It was part of, like, it reminded everybody of the New 52, I'm sorry, not New 52, but the Rebirth, the Flash Rebirth, where there was a Speed Force storm, and that's where the character Godspeed, one of the coolest looking speedsters I've ever seen, is Godspeed. There's something about that white and gold color scheme that's just so fucking cool. So anyway, long story short, Barry, when Jay got freed from the prison because Cisco tampered with the Speed Force cannon or bazooka or whatever it was, Jay got freed, and so the Speed Force needs a prison. Why they need a prisoner, I don't know. I don't know why they need a prisoner. I guess to give Speed Force out, I don't know. So Barry has to go in. That makes me, I was reading a bunch of comments on that after I saw it, and people, I don't for a second think that the Flash is done. Like, Grant Gustin's Barry Allen is not done by a mile. The show would dip in ratings, and I think it's gonna take a dip if they don't bring him back right away. But he's not gonna be gone. That's stupid thinking, in my opinion. But I think Wally, maybe Jesse Quick, and then possibly Jay Garrick. I think they're gonna be the new kind of the Flash of Central City. But I think definitely at the very beginning, somewhere near the beginning, is when they're gonna have to break Barry out. So not for a second do I think that Grant Gustin is out of the show, or Barry's not going to be the main thing about the show. Not for a second do I think that. Overall, I think with the pacing of the finale, I think it was a letdown. That's all I'm trying to say, is that it felt really kind of rushed and pasted together, and it wasn't coherent, and I didn't have time to respond to anything because HR dies, and I can't respond to that because of what happens next and all this stuff. I couldn't feel anything in the episode, Wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't its best, and that's why I think I could have went lower with the score, but that's just based on the finale episode alone, episode 23. The rest of it was not that bad. I think it was okay. It was still pretty good, but like I said, it was still one of the worst seasons. I think it was the worst season of The Flash. So let me know what you thought. That's all I got for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.